Alrighty then. Looks like we are good. Definitely much less cursed, which I was very much worried about, but thankfully not. Oh, why is all my. Okay, sweet. Best way to make a stream less cursed is to not stream on a laptop. And there you have it. Instant stream less cursed. Instantaneously. It's amazing. Ooh, no, no. Why can't I close this? No, I don't want an update right now. Alrighty then. Welcome, Hunter Master Gaming. Yes, I know. It's so surprising. You can actually can you all hear me? Can you all see me? uh well, already off to a much better start than last time. Which, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get. Now, the only thing that could go wrong is internet or Streamlabs breaking for the 13th time today. But you know what? I'm not going to try and pull Murphy in on this stream. So so let's see what we can do with that. Desk, no. Although, Desk, I do have an interesting proposition for you that I may or may not do. Or, no, that I may or may not say. Uh, Welcome, Laugh. Welcome. It's been a while. It's been a long while, we should say. I really wish I could change the colors on your guys' name tags. Like, why can't it randomize colors? If it can, I haven't seen it. But anyway, I do have a proposition. It does not involve reading Shattered Skies. It involves reading one of your other books. It involves reading one of your other books. Oh, laugh. There's a reason why I'm called why you put me in the role of ghost horse on your server. To be honest, like me just being a lurker in every single server I'm in is kind of my brand at this point. So and I do talk, laugh. I mean, not really talk. I post pictures. I post pictures, which is pretty much all I do in any server. So it's a lot more than what I used to. That's for sure. But yes, Desk. It involves your other story, the one that I helped you with before. I'm thinking about maybe helping you out further with it. Uh, I can't pronounce the name to it. Um, yes, yes, that's the one. Tessa Tessa Carew is my is the best I'm going to get at pronouncing it. I know it's already on Amazon and whatnot, but I've fallen into another hobby because let's be honest, I don't have enough hobbies going on. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, then I'll just have to offer my services to Carapace instead. Or maybe just surprise him, I don't know. But yeah. Why is my chair leaning back? It's not supposed to do that. Nope, that's the wrong handle. I never sit in this chair. You can tell that I only sit at this desk for live streams. What is going on behind me? Oh, it's a cord. Hopefully that doesn't come unplugged. But yes, we'll talk more about it later. Maybe not tonight because I'm heading to my parents for like my sister's farewell party after this. She's moving to Nolans, as she hates hearing. she's heading out to Nolans, so this is her last week. So we're all throwing a party for her. So, like maybe tomorrow or next week. I don't know. But anyway, I was going to talk about something and then I completely forgot what I was going to talk about. Anyway, let's get on with the show, shall we? I was really hoping that this was the chapter that Lord Deface came in, because I've been waiting to voice Lord Deface for ages. Sadly, no. I think that's like next chapter? Shush, I thought I muted you. Gosh. See, everything's just going against me. There we go. You're going... Okay. It's... I thought I saw a notification popping up, and I was going to be right peeved with it. I've been thinking about a few things with the stream, because I have a veritable knack for not doing them or editing. To be honest, editing's just the worst. I'm halfway through the next chapter right now, but just the worst. Would it be better for everyone if I would stream on Saturdays instead of Sundays? Just tossing that out there for y'all to mull it over or something. Maybe I'll post a straw poll in the related live stream related chat. But just like, let me know what you think. Still have not set down a concrete time for whenever these are going to be going on. At the moment, I'm just trying to get these streams and chapter releases on a bi-weekly schedule. So yes, no new chapter this week, but that'll be next week. Every other week you'll get some sort of content, either these live streams or chapters, if everything goes according to plan. No, it wasn't even a Discord notification. It was a notification, like, someone was texting me, and I'm like, why is someone texting me? No one ever texts me. Oh. Yeah, I am really doing a once a month live stream. It is technically a lie. Oh man, streaming once a month. that's what I've been going for. But no, for May, it shall be twice a month, and hopefully that will still continue. Lie less. Come on. We know that everything is U/V's fault, and then I'm just a person that, I don't know, is your lackey. I don't know where I fit in this. I don't even know where I was going with this, to be honest. I should probably move this closer to me, shouldn't I? There we go. Now you can hear me, nice and clear. But yes. Alrighty then. Shall we get started? I don't even know what chapter. Well, what chapter number is this? Come on, pull up my list of what chapter this is. No. No, I don't want to disconnect. I just want to. There we go. I just want to open up another app. Stop being so finicky. And okay, let's see. They clearly write this with you reading in mind, so it's your fault. That's probably very true. There's probably going to be a whole chapter that's nothing but anime girls because Desk has like a stranglehold on on V's creative process. All right, this is encore, chapter 46. Nice. Alrighty then, chapter 46. What, you want me to just go do 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 do. It'll just turn into Darude Sandstorm if you name a character in Morse code. They'll just be called Darude. Yeah, I said chapter 46. All right. Chapter 46. Encore. It's not recording my microphone. I thought I fixed this. Where is my microphone? No. Don't you tell me. Don't you derogate nor deride. Where's my microphone? Where is it? Where is it? It should be right here. It's plugged in. You can hear me. Ah, nice sandstorm you got there. It. You know, you didn't put in any accurate binary information, or at least not one that can be translated. But seriously, where's my mic? Where's my mic? That's kind of important for me to have my mic. Output, input, microphone, yes. But why isn't Audacity finding it? Oh, I'll have to unplug it, aren't I? No, I'm not saving this. Open again! I said it was going to be... and there it is. And before anyone says, how dare I lie about having a not cursed stream, I never claimed I wasn't going to have a not cursed stream. I just claimed it was going to be less cursed than last week, or a couple weeks ago. So, man, that fan is loud. Why is my... And yeah, I said it was going to be less cursed. Hopefully less cursed. But yes, the key to not having a cursed stream is to not stream on a laptop, because apparently that will murder everything. Alrighty then. Alright. Yeah. There we go. Chapter 46. Encore. Does that even sound right? I don't know. I can't tell if I'm too close. I'm slightly too far? Maybe? I don't know. Chapter 46. Encore. Yep, there we go. That sounds perfectly usable. Oh, I keep forgetting the thing that's holding me back on the next chapter being edited is that I have to do a what did what did V call it? A displeased breath of air in order for Big Mac's lines. Apparently my family got the party started early. They're having snow cones. All right. It might be only like an hour and a half stream. I don't know. But we'll just play it by ear. We'll see what goes on. Why is this chair squeaking all of a sudden? It never squeaked before. Is this just the curse of anyone doing sound recording? Is that you're forever cursed to a squeaky chair? Anyway, let's continue. I think I have to voice Spitfire in this one, which it's going to be interesting doing Spitfire since she doesn't show up again and she just kind of sounds like Rainbow Dash. So, we'll see how that goes. It was no small amount of pleasure It was with no small amount of pleasure I returned to camp. It was with no small amount of pleasure that... That's missing a word. Where's the ding timer? Oh, I got rid of it. No, not we're all going to die. It's just I'm going to die because I can't do voices. Also, this is missing. This is missing. It's missing a that. Right there. Right there. It's missing a that. I can't believe I got rid of my typo counter. That would summon V here right quick. It was with... Yeah, there's a that that's supposed to be there. It was with no small amount of pleasure that I returned to Canterlot. In terms of non-traditional guard duties, that could have been worse. I had survived it, accomplished all missions, and returned with trinket, trophy, and treat, the last of which I had resolved to share with the princesses as proper tribute. Still, I was relieved when the last train from Ponyville allowed me to reach the castle in time to join the line of petitions and reports to the princess. I would hate to interrupt the princess's other business to deliver this report. It involved the royal protege, so I was not quite sure of the importance that it should be assigned to it. You should replace the ding with an air horn. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? Every time. I would hate to interrupt the... Yeah. Delete all that. Delete it. I don't even know where I was. Reports to the princess. Right there. I would hate to interrupt the princess's other business to deliver this report. It involved the royal protege, so I was not quite sure of the importance that it should... I would hate to interrupt the princess's other business to deliver this report. It involved the royal protege, so I was not quite sure of the importance that should be assigned to it. A typical verbal report would do for now. But there is no one at the stage. Oh gosh, what are you sending me? Oh no, it's just all binary. It's just all binary. Was it in this server that we just talked in binary for like a solid week? Oh, truth, truth. Although, thing is that it shouldn't be automodding anyone, because I don't have anything blacklisted. Like, why? Let me control my streams. Some people are like, why don't you go to Twitch? And I'm like, no, I like YouTube better. I understand YouTube. I don't understand Twitch. When it was my turn, I caught a flash of emotions as soon as I walked in, quickly smothered. Surprise, certainly, but other things as well. Exasperation, perhaps? The petitions must have been extraordinarily taxing this day. It probably thinks it's spam. That's probably what's... It probably thinks you're spamming numbers. Princess Celestia, I have come to report. I bowed low to the Solar Diarch and gave a smaller bow to Princess Cadence, who seemed more bemused by my arrival and did far less to hide it. Curious. The Solar Princess tilted her head, raising one perfect eyebrow. Also, I'm still not entirely sure. Is this patronize or patronize? I'm assuming it's patronize because because I'm just basing off of a word of patron. So I'm guessing it's patronize, but it sounds so close to patronize. Idol, I believe you were tasked to investigate Ponyville and to patronize it. To I still... it's just so hilarious. Oh, patronize. It's... patronize is just such a strange word. It wouldn't be strange for Idol to say it, but Celestia? Could see the tabloids tomorrow. It's like, Princess author tells the guard to patronize a village. to patronize an entire village. Idol, I believed you were tasked to investigate Ponyville and to patronize it. And I have, Your Highness. I visited every business of note, though found little of real interest in many. You've been gone for 2 days. You've been gone for 2 days. Of course, Your Highness. I left immediately the morning after receiving my orders. The mission is accomplished, and I would like to report. The princess's smile seemed more forced, though I could hardly imagine why. I see. You can't stop the idol, Celestia. You will undoubtedly be pleased with Twilight the Younger. Her friends are... I searched for a good word. Diverse in their mentality. In truth, I could not have imagined her befriending any of them before leaving Canterlot. They will be good for her, though I do hope she does not become too much like Rainbow Dash. She is a little more... aggressive than I'm used to. She is a little more aggressive than I am used to. Cadence tilted her head. Oh gosh, what was Cadence's? I haven't voiced Cadence in ages. Oh man, that's not gonna... Does that... Does that sound better? I don't know. Oh man, Cadence. Cadence, Princess Barbie herself. How do I voice her? Crap. When's the last time I voiced Cadence? Was it A Knight with Shining Armor? I think it was A Knight with or no, A Knight with Princess Cadence. Was that really the last time? I could have sworn there was a little bit of time before that. She sounded like Gilbert Godfrey. Just get a Iago in here. Can I get an Iago in the chat? Okay, so she was like Topaz. Yeah, she was like Topaz, but even further back? No, not further back. Okay, so this is Topaz, if I'm remembering right. Idol, just that's the only way I can remember how to do Topaz's voice is is just her exasperation at everything that Idol does, which is very fair. But what was Cadence's? Princess Barb. So, and here I am, Princess Barbie, as a lot of people go. Man. So, I don't know. So we have Topaz, and back here is Cadence? And everything in between, one assumes. Yep, that definitely sounds like Cadence. At least from what I remember Cadence sounding like. How? That's the best we're going to do with such a small... A small misunderstanding I resolved quickly. A small misunderstanding resolved quickly. Her heart was in the right place. I would recommend being more cautious of the one known as Pinkie Pie. Why is my voice dropping out? It's too early. A small misunderstanding resolved quickly. Her heart was in the right place. I would recommend being more cautious of the one known as Pinkie Pie. As the one... How? How? Having a small misunderstanding with that sentence. Exactly. A small misunderstanding resolved quickly. Her heart was in the right place. I would recommend being more cautious of the one known as Pinkie Pie, but I believe unpredictability is her nature. So I cannot... Is unpredictability her nature, or is it in her nature? Is a misunderstanding with a lot of senses. Very true. Yep, this is completely 100% accurate. I believe unpredictability is in her nature. I don't know. Is in her, what sounds better? What is it? Just Pinkie Pie's nature to be unpredictable, or is it in her nature to be predictable? One word, and it kind of changes the entire thing. A small misunderstanding resolved quickly. Her heart was in the right place. I would recommend being more cautious of the one known as Pinkie Pie, but I believe unpredictability is her nature, so I cannot presume... this whole sentence. A small misunderstanding resolved quickly. Her heart was in the right place. I would recommend being more cautious of the one known as Pinkie Pie, but I believe unpredictability is her nature, so I cannot presume what would be done in that regard. I quite liked Mrs. Rarity. A small misunderstanding resolved quickly. Her heart was in the right place. I would recommend being more cautious of the one known as Pinkie Pie, but I believe unpredictability is in her nature, so I cannot presume what would be done in that regard. I quite liked Mrs. Rarity, Fluttershy, and Applejack, and assure your highnesses that Twilight has done quite well for herself. As for Miss Zecora, the Everfree could not be in safer hooves. The Everfree could not be in better hooves. I believe she is uniquely prepared to handle the wardship of the forest. I believe she is uniquely prepared to handle the wardship of the forest. There we go. I cheat. I believe she is. Free could not be. There we go. I don't know. That one sounded a little muffled. That was weird. Oh, I haven't saved this yet. 47. As of right now, everything is bumped up a so we're on chapter 46, although this is the 47th. This is the 47th section of the book, because we had a thing. I cannot remember the thing. I can't remember the thing's name, but I remember there was a thing with Topaz where that doesn't count as a chapter because V is really bad at naming chapters. Vignette. A vignette. That's it. V had to get all French on us, so so it's not a chapter. And it's going to actually be bumped up by 1, maybe 2. It's definitely going to be bumped up by 1 in the later chapters, and maybe a second one, depending on how long V wants to drag out our pain over the latest chapter. Oh, Hunter Master, apps all the time, especially after sour candy. It even happens after eating chips. So, then yeah, I will fight you, Desk, because you cannot call it Vignette 1 without it being with it still being a chapter. It's a vignette, not a chapter. Some people may use it interchangeably, but I do not. And the businesses? And the businesses? Quills and Sofas sells quills and sofas, and everything in between, one assumes. No, the name of the store is as concise as it is accurate. The rest are of above average quality, but with little else to distinguish them, with several exceptions. Miss Rarity is the proprietor of Carousel Boutique, and both her work and ethics are unquestionable. Her ethics? Man, I'm making Princess Celestia sound derpy in this reading. I believe the answer you're trying to say is either thank you or Technoblade. So her ethics? Indeed. Indeed. The Sugar Cube Corner is far above and beyond the average, and I bring some of their finest. Miss Pie delivered her some of her... Yes, another typo. Where's the typo counter? I need to bring it back. I need to bring back the typo counter. It's racking up again. Sounds like she had the fattest pocket ever. Oh, absolutely. Her ethics? Don't worry, I'll fix it in post. That's actually her voice all the time. Indeed. The Sugar Cube Corner is far and above. I said that right. Why did I stop? Indeed. The Sugar Cube Corner is far and above. I did not say that right, so I did just stop. Indeed. The Sugar Cube Corner is far above and beyond. Did I say and twice? I don't think so, but why am I stopping? Indeed. The Sugar Cube Corner is far and above the average. Far and beyond. No. Indeed, the Sugar Cube Corner is far above and beyond the average, and I bring some of their finest. Miss Pie delivered some of her extra scrumptious double cream sweet cakes. Indeed, the Sugar Cube Corner is far above and beyond the average, and I bring some of their finest. Miss Pie delivered her Miss P- mm, Miss Pie delivered some of her extra scrumptious double cream sweet cakes. Oh gosh, what is the sentence? Holy crap. And I bring some of their finest. Miss Pie delivered Miss Pie Miss Pie delivered some of her extra scrumptious double cream sweet cakes on the train, and it is only proper that I share this bounty. She delivered them to the station? Well, that was certainly nice of her. No, Your Highness, she delivered them to the train and left. She claimed she did not have a ticket. No, Your Highness. No, Your Highness. She delivered them to the train and left. She claimed she did not have a ticket. While it was at the station? While it was at the station? No. No. I cleared my throat, not wanting to draw the attention of the pink demon, and certainly not wanting to think too much about her. Oh, I keep forgetting about these interactions, and they're the best. I cleared my throat, not wanting to draw the attention of the pink demon. Of the punk demon. You cannot escape the punk demon. The punk comes for you. I cleared my throat, not wanting to draw the attention of the pink demon, and certainly not wanting to think too much about her. Sweet Apple Acres provides fantastic produce, and, while not a business per se, Miss Fluttershy is amazingly adept with animals. I have no doubt she would be utterly entranced to meet Philomena. As for myself, I made a few other purchases. I began laying out my findings. Welcome, V. Welcome, welcome. Oh, and welcome to the live stream. A set of chisels from Rich's Barnyard Bargains, a pre-order for a dress, a few other things of minor note, and one Pinkie Pie Party in a Box. I have not opened the last one, and may never. And that? She raised a hoof to point at one of my items. It is a chicken composed of rubber. I purchased it at the local joke shop. It is hilarious. I stomped on the creature, and it made a goose-like honk, followed by a squeaky wheeze. I smiled at the very absurdity. V. What is this? At the very... I guess it makes... at the very absurd... It sounds like old speak, so... Oh, but it's just hilarious. The very absurdity. Princess Celestia opened her mouth, then closed it. She started to say something, stopped, and gave a small snort of laughter. I suppose it is. Yes, Your Highness. Yes, Your Highness, I agreed. I I'm finding I know Idol doesn't think it's I know Idol thinks it's funny because it doesn't sound like a chicken, but just the sentence structure of the very absurdity. The very absurdity. which in and of itself sounds very absurd. Yes, you're. I. There. Well, I should commend you for a job well done. Perhaps you should take some. Well, I should commend you for a job well done. Perhaps you should take some time to relax. Yes, I had nearly. Yes, I nearly forgot the Ponyville Day Spa. It was a delightful experience. I laid hooves. Oh, I forgot about this paragraph. It's one of my favorites. The legend of Idle grows ever more. Yes, I nearly forgot the Ponyville Day Spa. It was a delightful experience. I laid hooves on one of the proprietors and learned a few things. I truly cannot recommend it enough. I nodded firmly and gathered my belongings, silencing the large rubber poultry by stuffing it deeper into my saddlebag. I will prepare a formal report as soon as possible to ensure I have missed nothing. I looked up to see both the princesses staring at me, mouths ajar. The room seemed oddly warmer. Is there anything else? No, I believe I've heard more than enough. Ponyville sounds lovely. Celestia blinked rapidly. Odd. Perhaps she was daydreaming about a longer visit. Good, she could use the time off. Permission to speak freely? Permission to speak freely? The Sun Princess looked hesitant, but nodded. Permission granted? I could not begin to fathom her look of concern. I was the last of the reports for the day, and there were no more petitions. With respect, Your Majesty, in the future, if you wish me to take a vacation, you have but to ask. I left quickly, intent on receiving my orders for the following day. That's going to be so much editing. With respect, I left quick. If you wish, in the future, with respect. I messed up on so many parts in there, and we're just gonna keep it going. I told you that wouldn't work. Cadence giggled as the door closed. Oh, hush. Oh, my Faust, that's good. You have got to try one of these. That is definitely not either Cadence nor Celestia. I told you that wouldn't work. Cadence giggled as the door closed. Oh, hush. Oh, my Faust, that's good. You have to try one of these. You have to try one of these. There we go. Get that out of the way. You have to try one of these. Now time to figure out how Spitfire sounds. Woo! Everyone, get your popcorn ready, because I'm going to try and figure out a new character voice. Because we all know I'm fantastic with creating new character voices. Captain, I do believe this is... Captain, I do believe this is borderline fraternization. Captain, I do believe this is borderline fraternization. I offered as Spitfire planted herself across from me in the mess hall. The room, as usual, was relatively quiet. The mess hall was not known for exceptionally good food at the evening meals, as most ponies with a talent for cooking preferred not to waste it where ponies wanted to generally eat and retreat. If they didn't already intend to go to home-cooked meals with their eat and retreat. Yeah. if they didn't already intend to go to home-cooked meals with their families. To me, it was a fantastic place to write a report while having a meal. I found that I rather liked my new quill. Perhaps I had misjudged Quills and Sofa's quality. That would have to be annotated. Page 10. Or perhaps I should rewrite the whole report. And, I said annotated without having to look up the pronunciation guide. Spitfire snorted. Okay, now time for the fun part. What does Spitfire sound like? I could pull up a clip and see what she sounds like. Well, where's the fun in that? We wouldn't have gotten Owie's old without. Oh, but I already have. I could have just done a fake French accent and perfectly done an Owie's old, but no, I wanted to make him sound like a villain. So Spitfire sounds like Rainbow Dash. Sounds like Rainbow Dash on adrenaline. No, actually, switch that. Rainbow Dash sounds like Spitfire on adrenaline. Spitfire just sounds like a deeper Rainbow Dash, which, to be honest, I don't even remember what I did for Rainbow Dash. And I think what I do remember of that is that it was... I just put in something because it was easy to do. Let us see. Oh man. Oh, sorry. Yeah. She just sounds like Toad the entire time. Oh yeah. Oh gosh, I can't do that to myself. No offense. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. No offense, Hooves. You're not my type. I am open to suggestions that aren't Gilbert Godfrey. No offense, Hooves. You're not my type. That's a good Spitfire, right? Right? That kind of sounds like... No offense, Hooves. You're not my type. That kind of... That's an Academy record. Yeah. Possibly. Very much possibly. Very much possibly so. Yeah, I think I'll go with that one. No offense, Hooves. You're not my type. This is just coworkers having a few cold ones together at the end of a long day at work, and that voice completely fell apart. I think it kind of turned into the voice I was going to use for Lord to Face. No. She'll just sound like a smoker. No offense, Hooves. You're not my type. This is just coworkers having a few cold ones together at the end of a long day at work. All harmony approved and everything. She switched from wheedling to sing-song. I got the good stuff. Gosh, this is the worst Spitfire. I got coworkers having a few cold ones together at the end of a... Oh gosh. I don't know if I can do Spitfire. I've said that about every single voice line. Am I just trying too hard to make her voice sound Ramley? I don't know. No offense, Hooves. Ah, that sounds better. Is that Luna or Cadence? I don't think so. No offensives, you're not my type. This is just coworkers having a few cold ones together at the end of a long day at work. All harmony approved and everything. No offensives, you're not my type. This is just coworkers hanging out. No offensives, you're not my type. This is just coworkers having a few cold ones together at the end of a long day at work. All harmony approved and everything. She switched from wheedling to sing-song. I got the good stuff. She pulled the neck of a bottle from her saddlebags. I grunted, but she had me. Salted caramel whiskey was my I grunted, but she had me. I grunted, but she had me. Salted caramel whiskey. I grunted, but she had me. Salted caramel. Yeah, caramel. Salted caramel. I grunted, but she had me. Salted caramel whiskey was a wicked creation, but the Wonderbolt captain knew my weakness far too well. Burn your Burn your pinions. Get those pinions out of my face. Burn your pinions. What do you want, Spitfire? Heard the princess ordered you to take a tour of Ponyville. Got a prospect going there. I presume you do not mean Fluttershy. Her snort was as impressive as it was impolite. Near's I heard, that one barely flies more than the bugmare. You know what? Spitfire has a point. I keep forgetting that Topaz is a Pegasus. I didn't struggle on that word nearly as much, Desk, as I have every other word. And it's caramel, not caramel. We're not pretentious here. But yeah, Topaz as a Pegasus, it's something. Also, very interestingly, I always think of Topaz as a blue mare with that's an Earth pony, and I have no idea why. I kind of took Wispy's color palette and just took off her wings for Topaz. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of a blue Abadi kind of guy. Near's I heard, that one barely flies more than the bugmare. Near's I heard, that one barely flies more than the bugmare. Her eyes narrowed. Do you know... Do you know something I don't? She's just going to be Southern. she's going to have a slight Western accent. Do you know something I don't know? Well, I reckon here. Do you reckon something I don't? Topaz dislikes that nickname, and I have no idea how to safely answer that question. I saw nothing to make me judge her skills as anything other than graceful. Sorry. She's oh, that voice is back. It's gonna haunt me for the rest of this for the rest of time. Sorry. She waved a hoof. Sorry. She waved a hoof. Come on, give. You did a check about Ponyville. I'm sure you got a good impression of the folks Sparkle hangs out with, because that's what Celestia would have wanted, and you had a chance to meet with that Rainbow Dash filly. She's just becoming gradually more southern as that sentence progresses. She's turning into Applejack. I've made Spitfire into Applejack. How did I forgot how I voiced her earlier? In your opinions, what do you? Caramel whiskey was. Come on, harmony approved and everything. She's. This is just coworkers having a few cold ones together at the end. This is just few coworkers. There we go. Welcome, demo. What they said over a century applies to your voice acting. The South shall rise again. Exactly. But welcome, demo. I'm glad you were able to make it tonight. Here we go. Come on, give. You did a checkup on Ponyville. Sorry. No. Come on, Give. You did a checkup on Ponyville. I'm sure you got a good impression of the folks Sparkle hangs out with, because that's what Celestia would have wanted. You had a chance to meet that Rainbow Dash filly, and it wasn't when she was squealing like a fangirl or freaking out over her performance. That's not a good take. Oh man, I've been doing pretty good actually. It was a slightly busy day. It was a slightly busy week at work. Yeah, very busy day at work. Very busy week at work. Helped my sister move all her stuff out. Like last Thursday. So, moving for 8 hours, all her furniture and stuff, and then having to go into work the next day. I was so dead. I work as Domino's. I'm one of the managers there. Or Dominays, I should say. Work strictly night shift and all that fun stuff. Which is why these streams are not any earlier in the day than they are right now. I could potentially do a noon stream on Saturdays. I don't know. You guys let me know how you feel about that one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just work 37 hours a week, get a nice long weekend, and I still can't manage to edit these streams together. Ah, man. Sorry about that. Boop. And so, let's see. Where was I? Oh yes, trying to figure out how to voice Spitfire. Yeah, I think I did the teenager with attitude kind of voice for her. Because that's all the Wonderbolts are, teenagers with attitude. Okay. Come on, give. You did a you. Come on, give. Come on, give. You did a checkup on Ponyville. I'm sure you got a good impression of the folks Sparkle hangs out with, because that's what Celestia would have wanted. You had a chance to meet that Rainbow Dash filly, and it wasn't when she was squealing like a fangirl or freaking out over her performance. A hit of ego Oh, a hit of ego mixed in with a splash of "I'm better than you." That's how you voice Spitfire. So yes, the teenage girl voice. Oh no, not angsty teenagers. One of my favorite lines from that show. Yeah. Oh no, not. Although they really rolled with the angsty teenagers bit for the new move for the a movie that came out not too long ago. Near as I've heard, still Southern. Come on, give. You did a checkup on Ponyville. I'm sure you got a good impression of the folks Sparkle hangs out with, because that's what Celestia would have wanted. You had a chance to meet that Rainbow Dash filly, and it wasn't when she was squealing like a fangirl or freaking out over her performance. I gave a small nod as she poured the delightful amber beverage. She is brash, aggressive, willful, and uncouth. The pour slowed, but only for a moment as the pour slowed, but only for a moment as the flame-like Pegasus shrugged. Let's see. Oh yeah, the new reboot movie. They were all perfectly normal, civic-minded, white bread kids. Oh man. If they want to, we'd have to get Bulk and Skull Rangers. Oh gosh. I mean, they didn't necessarily say teenagers with attitude in the original Power Rangers. They just said that they were angsty teenagers, which to be fair, all teenagers are angsty. I work with far too many of them. And they're not even teenagers that I work with. They're almost out of high school by the time I work with them. Yeah, teenagers definitely angsty, the angstiest of the lot. All right, there we go. Damn. Can you say damn without going slightly southern? Alpha, Rita's escape to recruit a bunch of teenagers with attitude. Oh no, not angsty teenagers. Anything but that. Oh man. It's so good. Damn. Damn. Thought we might have had some potential in that one. She's got the speed and she certainly has the reflexes. She swirled her own mug in a practiced motion before taking a sip. Her shoulders and wings relaxed as they did so, and a waft of pleasure emanated from her, slightly tinged with disappointment. I hesitated, not particularly. I hesitated. I did not particularly like the element of loyalty, but I felt that clarification was in order. Spitfire, you are brash, aggressive, willful, and uncouth, and you are the best leader the Wonderbolts had during my lifetime. I completely forgot about the word. Spit Spitfire, you are brash, aggressive, willful, and uncouth, and you are the best leader the Wonderbolts have had during my lifetime. People my age have that entire opening permanently. I'm pretty sure Alpha says, no, not angsty teenagers. I'm fairly certain that Alpha says, oh no, not angsty teenagers. She nearly spit out her drink, coughed, and pounded a hoof onto her chest. She nearly spit out her drink, coughed, and pounded a hoof into her chest. Does it actually say Teenagers with Attitude in the theme song. I'll have to listen to it afterwards. Remember, no videos on stream. I can't watch anything on stream. Seriously, I'm pretty sure they say, "No, oh no, not angsty teenagers." I don't know. It's the only reason I know that line is because I think Silverquill used it in one of his videos. I think he was talking about the movie reboot. So, but he used man, I haven't watched that video in ages. This is paraphrased for certain. Oh, damn it, Hooves. Usually I have to buy a stallion dinner before he kisses my flank like that. What about Wind Rider? Case in point. I rolled my eyes. Case in point. I rolled my eyes. And Wind Rider... And Wind Rider... Wind Rider... Why is that such a tongue twister? And Wind Rider retiring... And Wind Rider retiring raised the overall level of tolerability of your group immensely. She scoffed, waving that away. You never did like you never did like him. That is a southern that is a southern sentence. It's like when Leia said, "If you can say, I." Oh man, I'm going to feel so bad for not knowing her name. I'm going to feel so bad for not knowing her name. Because it's a really easy name to remember, and I completely forgot it. No, What's her... There we go. Thank you, Google. Carrie Fisher. Oh my gosh, how could I not remember Carrie Fisher's name? Oh man. It's something I remember Carrie Fisher saying ages ago, is that she'd give you $100 if you could say that one line from A New Hope without going British. Is the foul stench. I remember your foul stench when you were. I could smell your foul stench when you were brought on board. She's like, she said that if you could say that without having a British accent, then she'd give you like $100. And I'm like, and this is the same thing. You can't say this line without being a little Southern. You never did like him. You never did like him, but then you don't really like the whole show pony thing. You know, most ponies would think of all that brash and uncouth stuff was an insult. I believed those were all required traits for joining the Wonderbolts. Order knows how Soren got in. I think I remember reading that one. Also, I just love the context that they put that whole opening scene of New Hope with Rogue One. I really enjoyed Rogue One. It's like one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Now, granted, I haven't watched any of the regular. I haven't watched the original or the prequels in like over a decade, but I really enjoyed Rogue One especially. And and someone posted as like, we're a piece of we're on a we're on a mission of peace from Alderaan. I saw you leaving the ship with the stolen plans. I was in space. Don't you dare talk to me about a peaceful mission. You know my darkest secret. Wire me 50 Monopoly dollars. Funny thing is, I have $100 in Monopoly money somewhere in my room right now, and it's kind of a funny story that for why I just have a random $100 Monopoly. Um, so what happened was that back when I was still a delivery driver for Domino's, before I moved up to management, I was delivering to these guys completely drunk. They were completely drunk, and uh, they paid for their pizza. It was a cash order, so they handed me some money. They handed me exact change for the pizza. And one thing that not a lot of people know, it seems like, is that when you do a cash order for Domino's drivers, just hand them all the cash at once. They don't have it's all going to the store at the end of the night. Their cash tips will just automatically get taken uh, out of the cash that you hand them. You don't need to be like, here's for the pizza and here's your tip. It's kind of nice to be like, yeah, here's that the driver knows that they are going to get a tip, but not strictly necessary. So these guys, they did that thing, and then they tipped me $100 in Monopoly money. I was so mad. And man, I remember talking to a bunch of. I remember on another delivery, I was still like so mad about it. I delivered to this house we call the High House because on the weekends you can just smell the weed coming off of it. And they're like, "Oh man, that sucks. Do you want me to help? Do you want us to help you egg their house?" Oh, that was that night destroyed my faith in humanity and regained it because those guys were those guys were great. Every time I delivered them, they remembered me and they gave me like an extra tip because they felt bad that I didn't get that one because I didn't get one from that one house. And they're still in our area, and they're still known as the High House to all of us. But oh man, but yeah, that's why I have $100 Monopoly. That's why I have $100 Monopoly money just sitting in my room somewhere. After, that was my first month working at Domino's. I still have it 3.5 years later. Don't know why. Anyway, that's true. Um, and yes, you did succeed in getting me monologuing, but it's just such a strange story that it's just like you can't not say it when someone brings up Monopoly money because it's just so odd. I don't. This was a few years ago. I'm good now, but uh, but I mean that's actually technically not my weirdest story from being a delivery driver. Uh, Actually, yeah, that's not my weirdest story. The weirdest story is when people come out for pizza late at night. Like they show up at the door when you're delivering to them, and it was obvious that they were just that they were just getting it on. Like they have a bathrobe on and everything. It's just like, oh my gosh. We had one driver. He was delivering to this guy. He could see him through like their storm door, their glass storm door. And the guy stands up and his pants just drop because he didn't have a buckle on. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's so many stories that drivers can tell. Anyway, that's enough of a monologue for right now. But yeah, there's some crazy stuff that happens when you're a delivery driver. She gave a broad grin at that. She gave a broad grin at that. Someone had him try on the tights, and none of us are willing to go without that ever again. And he's one of the best long-distance flyers we have ever had, but mostly the first thing. You are a wretched lech. You are a wretched leech, Spitfire. I'm not wretched. I'm the best there is. I just call him like I see him. Any luck convincing Wispy to try out? No, she has bribed me to stop bothering her with it. A fighter. A fighter. I knew I liked that one. You up for a counter bribe? I believe that was a counter bribe. So it'd be a counter bribe. I want her in the bolts. I get agility from her and speed from Dash down in Ponyville, endurance from Soren, and I'm on my way to making my own element of air superiority. Oh, so I had it right the first time. It was lech. It was lech? Excuse me, did I hear? How? Man, I pronounced it right the first time, double guessed myself. Leech Spitfire. You are a wretched leech, Spitfire. I probably need to redo that anyway. Create a new track, put it there. You are a wretched lech, Spitfire. I can't. Why is it playing back? Please, stop. Stop. Solo. Solo. You are a wretched lech, Spitfire. You are a wretched lech, Spitfire. You are a wretched lech, Spitfire. There we go. And then, just a boop it up. And I'll just have to remember that when I'm editing, because I'm not set up here to do that right now. As in lechery, yeah. A wretched lech, which I've never heard before, but it's very interesting nonetheless. So Spitfire is a wretched lech. Nice. And I didn't say lich, I said lech. Not lich, but lech. Lich, lech, and leech. It's like buffalo, 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 buffalo. Completely grammatically correct sentence, even though we all hate it. Their superiority. I do not think that is a thing. It could be a thing. It could be a thing. I'd barely ever heard of the elements of harmony. You're telling me there might not be some super secret forgotten Pegasus element of something or other? I think air is an element. I think air is an element. Spitfire considered it, cursed, and downed her own drink. Mine had become empty at some points, so she refilled both. All right. So how'd you run into Rainbow Dash anyway? She threw me into the dirt a few times, I admitted, shrugging. She is fast. She threw me into the dirt a few times. She threw me into the dirt a few times. Come on. She threw me into the dirt a few times. I admitted, shrugging. She is fast. Spitfire choked. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love Idol's interactions with people. Spitfire choked. She's like half your age. She's like half your age. She tied me up first. I had little say in the matter. Her eyes narrowed. I'd hate you if I didn't fear you. You're there for like a day and a half. And I had so much to do. So much was accomplished. And I had much to do. So much was accomplished. I just don't see it. She shook her head. No offense. None taken. I was surprised myself. Oh, the bet is still going on strong. I don't know why anything you do surprises any of us at this point. She downed her second shot. All right, I'll keep an eye out for her name on the list of applicants. She's clearly going to be a good fit if she can get her tail up here. She heaved herself to her hooves and trotted out, and I followed her. Are you sure that you should be flying after imbibing? She scoffed. Please, Hooves, I'm a professional. I had more than that in my morning coffee. She stretched her limbs, grinning at the glowing... She stretched her limbs, grinning at this... I'm a professional. She stretched her limbs. Morning coffee. She stretched her limbs, grinning at the setting sun. The grass at her hooves began to brown as she lowered herself into a crouch. I backed away quickly. I feel that should be more concerning, I called out as she rocketed from the ground, hooves leaving... I called out as she rocketed from the ground, hooves leaving a flaming grass. I called out as she rocketed from the ground, hooves leaving flaming grass in her wake, as the mare left a smoke trail behind her. I sighed, stomping out the smoldering grass, blasted showboat, but I had to admit, no pony could beat Spitfire out of the gate. Rainbow Dash would be in good hooves. Nobody instead of no pony? How dare you? How dare you, V? We know how this is supposed to go. I returned to my room to find Shining in a mood. Have you... I have not asked her to marry me yet. More importantly, well, less important, more relative chronologically, I have not... Man, Shining's voice. I have not... Shining kind of sounds like the... like the sergeant. Sounds like the voice of the sergeant I always give. I have not asked her to marry me yet. More importantly, well, less important, more relative chronologically. I nodded at this correction. You were right about there being something up about those Starbucks things. A mess of shady business. You're you were right about being You were right about there being something up about those Starbucks things. A mess of shady business. I gave my bed a wan look. No rest for the weary. Go on. Go on. Shining shrugged. Okay, first off, you've met my father. I nodded. I have found Nightlight to be surprisingly well composed for some pony who has been gnawed upon by a dragon so often. Ha. Seriously, though, he spent more time in the Royal Observatory than anyone, including Twilight, even if it's only because he's got years on her. Shining's face fell at this. He, like the rest of us, had originally expected Twilight's trip to Ponyville to be a short-term assignment. He was still getting used to the change of plans. Guess he might keep the title for a while, huh? It does look that way. Your sister is doing well enough in Ponyville to have established a squad of interesting friends. Young Spike has even developed a crush. No? There's another dragon in Ponyville? I had no idea. Good for him. No. Shining looked at me, perplexed for just a moment before realization sank in and he faced off. We ruined him? What is this word? I have... No. 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 No, I don't need it searched. I need it explained how it's read. Look up.
Twitter-pated.
Twitter-pated? Infatuated or obsessed, a state of... Where do you get these words, V? Where? What Sweetie Belle did you have to look up in order to get all these words? Seriously. He is utterly Twitter-pated with one of the elements. Cadence will be delighted. He is utterly Twitter-pated with one of the elements. Cadence will be delighted. I had been uncertain if romantic entanglements belonged to my report. They probably did, I decided, though this was less an entanglement and more of a one-sided crush. An annotation, perhaps. Princess Cadence would never approve of it being a mere footnote. Welcome back, V. You missed... I don't know where you left off, but you missed... you missed the legend of Idle Hooves being increased after his talk with Spitfire, and also me complaining about how the heck did you find out the word Twitter-pated? And you used any pony. You used anybody instead of any pony. You use some human words instead of some pony words. And that, my friend, is why we don't tell her. She'll meddle. I felt the need to defend her. It would hardly be meddling. And that was hardly a defense. Bah. 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 How do you even say that? Oh my, yes, that's exactly what he did. Mora. I don't trust that Mora. And that was hardly a defense. Bah. Bah. Shining recognized the attempt and allowed it. Fair enough. She'll be excited when she finds out, or she'll be heartbroken with him. You know how she is. Shining assured me with the same faraway look he always adopted when thinking of his soon-to-be fiancée. He regained focus, however. Anyways, the boxes. Dad, he recognized parts of the light show almost immediately. They aren't just random star patterns, they're actual constellations. Not the famous ones, obviously, but a lot of the ones that lost their shape. They what? I don't get the exact idea of it, but the night sky used to be a lot more interesting and organized. I think Princess Luna had something to do with it. Anyways, the boxes are just projecting a bunch of those old constellations. They're all jumbled and not where they should be. They spin and stuff, but Dad says it's so blatant that it ought to be obvious to anyone with even a passing astronomical inclination. His words, not mine. But he was pretty offended. Maybe a little disappointed that I didn't catch it, but... And I could obviously prove all of that if the Book of the Night Sky wasn't missing pages. He finished, heat in his voice. I could understand the strained fury. In his family, damaging books was tantamount to treason, and stealing pages from a book. I was suddenly grateful Twilight the Younger was elsewhere. There would have been consequences. You suggest thievery, then? And fraud. Don't forget fraud. Then why have you not arrested them? I sputtered, furious. Then why have you not arrested them? I sputtered, furious. Shining sighed. Because they have Princess Luna's blessing. I blinked and he continued. Basically, the only way to charge them is to say they stole from the observatory and duplicated Luna's works, and that she just gave them her blessing. And that she just gave them... And that she... And that she gave them her blessing to the theft. The first thing she provided patronage towards is someone who just abused her trust. Shining shook his head. It means scandal. Besides, we don't know they stole from the observatory personally, only that there are pages missing that happen to coincide with some of their imagery, because a lot of them are just random dots. Oh, and it gets better. He pulled a padded box out of his pack, revealing one of the devices. I steeled myself as Shining activated the contraption with a small switch. To my disappointment, the room did not darken, and the lights were not nearly so beautiful as they were for the princess. In truth, it was somewhat blurry, and it hardly did more than provide a slightly pleasant light show. Still, I could see several patterns of stars, though I could identify perhaps one of them. The sky had never been particularly noteworthy to me before the most recent summer sun celebration. The light cut off as Shining flipped a switch and gave it a casual shake before offering me. The light cut off as Shining flipped a switch and then gave it a casual shake before offering to me. Offering it to me. Yes, that's why I'm messing up on this one. Before offering it to me. The light cut off as Shining flipped a switch and then gave it a casual shake before offering it to me. You try. The light cut off as Shining flipped a switch and then gave it a casual shake before offering it to me. The light cut... There we go. It's quite easy to get out of Apocrypha. You just have to find the right books to look at. It's finding the way in that's the tricky bit. I flipped the switch obligingly. Nothing happened. I frowned, activating it twice more. A faint, grinding noise, but no lights. I lifted the box, looking it over skeptically, but could find no immediate cause for the failure. Shining held up a bound scroll. Oh, my apologies. Oh, my apologies. I forgot to mention the care and agreement section of the Starbucks instructions. He unrolled the scroll, and the end fell to the ground. Failure to obey the following voids the warranty of your official Starbucks. Protect from loud noises. Protect from sudden impact. Do not shake. Do not apply heat. Do not scry. Do not open. Do not apply excess magic. Do not eat. Do not wear. Do not bounce. Do not... I believe I understand. I frowned. I believe I understand. I frowned. So, what is wrong with it? It's broken. Junked. Take it back. It won't work anymore. Except you can't because you broke your agreement. This is the third freaking one I've gotten. I didn't even read the agreement the first time and spent hours trying to fix the thing on my own. You have any idea how much they're selling these for? If it weren't for the mess hall, I'd be eating grass this week. Are they truly so fragile? I stared at the box in utter disbelief. Near as I can tell, you can get a dozen uses out of it, and the thing burns up. There's some kind of mechanism in it that breaks the blasted thing if you try and open it, and I'm pretty sure the innards are made of glass. Some kind of magic light projector in the box itself, glass panes for the stars, and a fancy bit of metal in there to wreck the whole thing at a moment's notice. Of course, it's all proprietary, so talking about it will bring the full legal might of the Bilkmore brothers and the patron down on you. Do not bounce is a Dr. Horrible sing-along reference. Ah! I never read Dr. Horrible, or watched Dr. Horrible. And a fancy bit of metal in there. To wreck the whole thing at a moment's notice. Of course, it's all proprietary, so talking about it will bring the full legal might of the Bilkmore brothers and their patron down on you. If you are not to open it, how do you know that? I queried, more than slightly impressed with his diligence. Shining held up the box with his magic. His horn glowed, and a tendril of light seemed to wrap around the center of the box, then formed an orb around the entirety of it. Shining casually took the shield in his hooves and twisted in opposite directions. The shield split from one orb into two identical domes, each with half of the box inside. The contents were mostly preserved from what I could tell. I mean, it's still closed, technically. I considered it, eyeing an oddly faceted metal orb that had likewise been split, if not perfectly down the center, enough to make out that Shining was indeed correct. Show off. Is that supposed to be spoken, or is that just in his head? Show off. I took the one dome and looked closely. On the remains of one darkened glass plate, I could see the light spots that would coincide with that of the constellation. This seems... I hesitated, searching for the words. Unlikely to have provided the show that the princess received. Oh, hers is probably something completely different. They don't say they're selling what they gave to Princess Luna. They just say that they're selling something like what they gave to her. It's legal, barely. I considered, then felt my carapace heat. They sought her patronage because it provides defense. Princess Celestia already knows. She's forbidden me to act on it. Order preserve, I growled, then considered. forbidden you to act on it. I can't exactly order someone to act on it in my place either. I'm just telling a friend who happens to be interested in the situation. The guard is going to have its hooves tied on this one. And what about the ponies with these broken products? Shining grunted. Nothing good. The Bilkmore shoulder. Nothing good. Man, Shining's voice keeps changing more and more. More and more raspy every time I talk about every time he talks. Shining grunted. Nothing good. Nothing good. Bilkmore sold. Nothing good. The Bilkmore sold a bunch, but they make a Nothing good. The Bilkmore sold a bunch, but they make a show of claiming how delicate the things are. No pony wants to admit they don't have the newest and latest bit of royalty-approved whatever. Even Celestia is careful not to show too much interest in anything or she'll cause a run on the market. Remember that tea from Napone? Matchstick. I gave him a look for his failure to adhere to her.
Appellation.
Appellation? I didn't know there was a mountain range in here. Matchstick. I gave him a look for his failure to adhere to her appellation, but he was used to such things. Yeah, I didn't know there was a mountain in here. You have the you have Appellation, and you have the Appalachians. Close enough. Celestia really enjoyed it, and then sudden boom. And then suddenly boom. Close enough. Celestia really enjoyed it, and close enough. Close enough. Celestia really enjoyed it, and suddenly, boom, it's everywhere. Tea markets had everything else overstocked. Ponies who didn't even like it were still drinking it, and coffee places had problems with business unless they had... And coffee places had problems with business unless they added it to the menu. Except Donut Joe's. Donut Joe's will live forever, Shining swore. And that's not even worth mentioning. Coffee... And that's not even... And that's not even worth mentioning. Coffee near University and the guard barracks? But the point is, Princess Celestia gushed over it, and now it's popular and no pony wants to admit to breaking something so expensive, and complaining might damage the opinion of the princess in question. Economics! Shining stated, raising a flask his beau had given him, which I knew he only filled with water, hardly a proper toast. Shining stated, raising a flask his beau had given him, which I knew he only filled with water, hardly a proper toast. I said Princess... What? Point is, Princess Celestia... No! No! The point is... But the point is, Princess Luna guessed over it, and now it's popular and no pony wants to admit to breaking something so expensive, and complaining might damage the opinion of the princess in question. Economics. Economics. Up-a-da-bup. Economics. Economics. How is it? Economics. Shining stated, raising a flask to the... Shining stated, raising a flask his beau had given him, which I knew he only filled with water, hardly a proper toast. Economics. Economics, yep. Heconomics. Hardly a proper toast. Ponies are crazy, I confirmed with a... Ponies are crazy, I confirmed with a sigh. Still, I decided something must be done. When Shining left for home, I set about for the only obvious option. Welcome, Z. Welcome to the live stream. Oh man, I have 12 minutes to finish this. And I still hadn't finished my first cup of water. This is fascinating. And I'm almost done with the chapter! Yay! Right on schedule. Let's see if I can bang the rest of this chapter out. Oh, it's gonna be a close one. It's gonna be close. Also, Shining probably doesn't sound like anything that I've done beforehand. Princess Luna was still a new feature to the castle, but maintained a timidness that none of us had expected. Most of her time was spent alone or in the presence of her elder sister, and I confess, the guards was of two minds about her. Some of us saw her as another princess to serve, others a potential security breach in progress. Any suggestions by the latter camp of putting her in a tower for her own security, or outside the castle entirely, had been met with a firm opposition from the Sun Throne, and the admonishment that the Lunar Throne was to be treated with equal authority. The small number of guards had retired in protest. I, like the Solar Princess, was most disappointed. It was extremely surprising how cautious many of the Thestrals were. It was extremely surprising how cautious many of the Thestrals were being of the new Night Princess. It was extremely surprising how cautious many of the Thestrals were being of the new Night Princess. To many of them, she was far more likely to support their needs, but at the same time, her precarious place in current politics apparently made it dangerous to But at the same time, her precarious place in current politics apparently made it dangerous to reciprocate. I know how to speak. It's just the words do not follow. But at the same time, her precarious place in current politics apparently made it dangerous to reciprocate such support. As such, they seldom offered public announcements of their loyalty for fear of making her the Bat Pony Princess and further relegating her to obscurity. Also, you put as many P's in that sentence as you possibly could, V. How dare you? Precarious place in current politics, apparently? What? Why? Pinkie Pie's not in this chapter. Even so, I was very pleased that Moth Chaser had publicly sworn her guard oaths a second time to the Lunar Princess, and her example was followed by a number of the most loyal of the Night Guard. Nonetheless, the Thestral still gave the princess her space, and she had taken to roaming the castle at nights on her own errands, whatever they might be, until her control of the moon was fully recovered. I found her outside, in the same area of the castle that had been I found her outside in the same area of the castle that had precarious... I found her outside in the same area of the castle that had previously. Oh man. Okay. Alrighty then. I found her outside in the same area of the castle that had previously been where she had been gifted. Oh. I found her outside in the same area of the castle that had previously been where she had been gifted the true Starbox. She sat on the grass, looking to the night sky, box on a stone pillar, deactivated. Her horn only had the faintest of glow, so I cautiously reached my senses towards her and barely recoiled in time. Longing, loneliness, and guilt poured from her like a waterfall. I had sensed as much from her sister, though far more restrained on the darkest of nights by her door when young Twilight was elsewhere. Your Highness? Oh no, what was Luna's? Oh no! Did I accidentally make Spitfire the new Luna voice? That'd be just my luck. Oh. Just make everyone is Luna. And that's all everyone ever knows is we are all Luna. Alrighty then. So I'm curious, V. Uh, in your time, so I know that you're pulling a lot of your own experiences to write this story. So, what kind of a what kind of a what kind of person in the military were you? I'm very curious. Like, were you kind of like idle or more like a shining, maybe just like a Spitfire, or are you just like, I'm none of these people? This is all the people I've worked with kind of deal? Because, we all have to pull from some sort of experiences. Yeah, if I was in the guard, I'd probably be I'd probably be a huge idol. On shift, off shift, but on. I had a feeling, but you know, you just might be like, I knew someone who was like idol, so I'm going to see what their adventures would be. uh, Nice, very nice though. Hmm? Oh, pray excuse me. The princess composed herself, quickly drawing a hoof over her face. Exhaustion. Order, what was this? Had the princess been in the midst of a working? I spared the sky a glance. The moon was unmoved, but were the patterns of the stars more intricate? Brighter? I could not be entirely sure. I hoped I had not interrupted anything. Your Highness, I have some troubling news. And thou do not wish to bring such news before mine sister? The princess had a tendency to slip in and out of old Equish, had a certain charm to it, I found. Nay, Nay, I am afraid it concerns thy patronage. We have reason to believe the ponies in question are abusing thy good name. I gingerly gestured to the gift. I gingerly gestured to the gift. I gingerly gestured to her gift and frowned, giving it a good look. The box was activated, and nothing was happening. I was suddenly furious. Not only had they provided poor counterfeits to the masses, but even the gift to the princess had failed. The princess caught my expression, and her face contorted in shame. Prithee, wait, I can explain. She took a step forward, staggered, and I moved to catch her before she struck the ground. The princess convulsed, retched, and went limp in my hooves, shivering. Stress, weakness, pain roiled off her. Stress, weakness, pain roiled. Roiled? Roiled. Stress, weakness, roiled. I mean, if it's going to roil off of someone, it's going to be royalty, am I right? Stress, weakness, pain roiled within her. The body of the immortal moon princess was too warm to the touch. There was only one possibility that sprang to mind. I am going to move my microphone in order to not blow out everyone. Okay, I'm going to move it to the side because I heard that's what professionals do. What they don't do is just incessantly mess with the microphone, to be honest. But you know, if I'm going to bellow, I'm going to we make houses out of you. A desk. You're in the same server as V and uh what's his name? Is it Alma? Ah man, who's the one that tells all the dad jokes? There it is. No, that's not it. Is it Abdul? Alma? It's either I can't remember their name, and I feel so bad because their jokes are great. I love them. More dad jokes. We always have a need for more dad jokes. Is it Mitch? It's not Mitch. It's Abel. Yes, Abel. Yes. That's. I was like, it starts with an A, and I. Yeah, I actually have a plugin that removes all um, what's it called, nicknames. So I can see everyone for what their actual Discord name is. But it is definitely not fake desk exactly. But yeah, how can you be in a same server with me, Abel, and V, and not appreciate a good dad joke every once in a while? They are fantastic. I know you like them. Everyone loves a dad joke. All right, let's see if I can bellow. Let's say I can. Let's try not to like destroy anyone's ears, and I'm going to. You know what? I went. That actually reminds me. Uh, I went to a pastry shop the other day, just to pick up some things, and there's this big white fluffy thing. There's this big white thing swinging around the place. I guess it was a orangutan. I have so many dad jokes, but to Abel, it just seems to come naturally to them. And yes, Idol making dad jokes is absolutely so fitting, especially since he makes them on accident. Much like his legend as as what did we call him ages ago? A ah, what man, I am forgetting everything tonight. Oh, an Idol Nova. Or a Cantor Nova, I guess. Idol is such a Cantor Nova, but his legend as making dad jokes is so good. Man, wait until everyone finds out that Red Shock is his child. And all the implications of it. Also, um, I wonder if Cersus will reveal to Idol the deliciousness that that the uh, Thestrals have, uh, all the sweet delicacies that Thestrals have. Fetch, but hold on, watch your ears, rip headphone users. Let's go. Fetch a healer! I bellowed, augmenting my voice with all the magic I could muster. The princess has been poisoned! That's a bellow. Call that a bellow? I would call that a bellow. I will definitely give it an echo effect. uh, I know it's nothing like the we make plants we make houses out of you. You think I can go a bit louder, huh? Huh? You want to tempt fate now, do ya? Well, let's see then, shall we? Oh, I definitely can go louder. It's will I just completely peak the mic trying to go louder. Hold on. One for desk, at loud as I can, microphone as far away from me as I possibly can make it. Let's see if I can get the neighbors to complain about me. Actually, no. I actually like living here, so we're not. So desk is going to get denied, at least for tonight. For tonight and always. But yeah, seriously, I'm not going to go any louder than the "we make plants out of you." The epic battle cry that was. Have you met me? Of course I'm a coward. It's my defining trait. That and being drunk all the time. Or, I mean, being slightly tipsy because I have all this delicious water. Sponsor me water. Please. Not any companies that bottle it, just water in general. I bellowed, augmenting my voice with all the magic I could muster. And there we go. Now I have the middle bit. And so, with that, the chapter is finute. Oh. Oh, yeah. Pink Idol. I forgot about Pink Idol. And as always, these will be dropped off. Dads are weird yet nice. You can see where Nux tips over into being drunk. He starts rambling and giggling like a skull. Hey, you may be accurate, but but yeah, we can't ever forget about Pink Idol, which I love as a concept of him being the of that's how he's gonna be if he reforms. Although I really do enjoy the headcanon that he'll just look like a regular changeling. It's just he'll look like a regular changeling, but just without the holes. Maybe he's been reformed this entire time, and he just hasn't noticed it. I know the we build houses out of you. I know it's a huge thing. Alrighty then, but c'est la vie with the end of a chapter. Also, patronage V. Patronage V. he needs all of it. He has the whole still, just different ones in some of his I mean, he has that scar. Absolutely. Man, I just realized I can't type and talk at the same time. Which I guess is good because I've seen so many people just talk while they talk about what they're typing, and I could only imagine how many things would get out of. Alrighty then, though. But, unfortunately, we are actually ending precisely pretty much on time. So, I think with that, I'll end it here. Again, there's not going to be a stream to. There's not going to be a chapter coming out on Wednesday, but there is going to be one coming out not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. Oh, but it would probably be a good idea to get the Macintosh snort, I guess. For the current chapter that I'm doing. Okay, let's see. What? How did you describe it, V? I can't remember how you described it. You said a judging sigh is what you kind of said, which is kind of hard to. Which I'm not entirely sure. You said quick intake and just a slow exhale, so I'm going to try something like that. Let's see how it works. Let's see if it will work at all. Something like that. I don't know if that's going to be registered, able to register the. Yeah, call me real quick. Yeah, you're not getting that at all. Okay. Welcome.
Something like.
Oh, okay. No, I get exactly what you're talking about.
More likely,
Okay, I'm going to put the microphone up my nose in order for everyone to hear this beautiful noise that's about to come out.
It's just a sharp intake and a.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I get exactly what you're. Hey, desk. I was a tuba. I know a thing or two about lung power. Third hardest instrument to play in band. I had no idea until after band, though.
All right.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go.
All right.
You do your thing.
Thank
Have
you.
fun.
Yep. Thank you. All right. Surprise cameo from V was something I wasn't expecting this chapter, this stream, but hey, I'm not complaining. That just sounds like he's taking. I can bellow, but it's not about how your lung power, it's about how controlled you are about the lung power. I hadn't done a proper embouchure in ages. There we go. I can barely do a tuba embouchure now. It's been not a decade. It hasn't been a decade yet. Close. Another year then it would be. Actually, no, it's actually been a decade since I've played the tuba. Yep, I haven't been able to do that for ages. There we go. Yep, I'll take it. Wait, I'm not going to save it. I'm just going to export immediately. Everyone discounts Oh, I should probably do this real quick. Get rid of all that. Will this actually work? Noise reduction, that, then boom, noise reduction. Alrighty then. And then compressor. Yes. Gosh, that is loud. And then filter curve to make my sound more manly, as someone put it. And then normalize. Yes. And then I'll just have to fix that and make it more adjusted to what I'm going for. And then just export it as a .wav. WAV to WAV. And boom. And boom. And saved. And no. Alrighty then. Well, I shall leave you all. I shall leave you all for tonight, and I shall see you in a couple weeks. Yeah, I'll definitely see you in a couple weeks. So I'll see you later. You have a wonderful night, all y'all, and thanks for coming out.